So this lesson is literally one of the most valuable lessons you will learn in this entire course. This is the foundation of making sure that your customers are being contacted in the right manner and they aren't being fed something that isn't what they're looking for, right? It's the negative keyword section, right? You should actually spend much more time on your negatives than you actually do your own keywords. You know your product, you know how people are actually finding them, you know the terms that are referenced by your customers because you hear them probably 1,000 times a day, right? But how and in what realm could you possibly show up for other things, right? Well, I tell you in this, and this is something I've told customers for years and years, if it could happen in the farthest reaches of hells, it's going to show up and you're going to be found on Google for it. Okay, and I find this just for, Thrive Courses, which is a customer that I love working with. They're a great company, but at the end of the day, they produce courses. How many other things do you think courses apply to? Whether it be nursing, doctors, even AdWords courses. Like, do you really think they need to show up for my courses? No, they don't. So finding negatives is one of the most imperative parts of you being successful and making sure that you're targeting your audience. What I'm going to show you in this section is the tips and tricks that I use to interpret those methods, utilize search in order to find the negatives and how people are actually showing up for them. I'm also going to actually provide you with a valuable document that's literally going to save you hundreds of hours and tens of thousands of dollars in order to make sure that you get every single aspect of your business covered on what you think people could find you or how they can't find you, right? Adding negatives via the search term report as well. How to search, basically go down through the search term report and pick out what is actually the relevant term within that search term that person typed in order to actually negate that term in the future. You don't want to negate the entire word a lot of times, right? You want to pick out that very, very key component that's going to eliminate that search while allowing you to still show up for the relevant aspects of it. Understanding negatives is also very, very vital for understanding where they placements in the funnel, right? You are going to understand later on in the course, we're going to go through top, middle, and bottom funnel, right? Understanding how to place negatives at very integral and very creative, honestly, and even very, calculative points are going to help lead that customer down the funnel and display the proper information while they're in their buying cycle, in their research phase, and ultimately in their decision phase. I'm also, again, going to provide you with a nice little screen recording at the end of this course. It's going to show you how I put these practices in place and utilize Google search, utilize the search terms, and also utilize other resources that I have at my disposal and I'm going to provide to you in order to get a complete comprehensive list to make sure that you are showing up, right? It's all about basically creating that low-hanging fruit, right? Identifying the low-hanging fruit and targeting it and making sure that you can successfully convert it. Because at the end of the day, if you can't convert the low-hanging fruit, then how are we going to ever expand out upon that, right? You need to make sure that you convert that low-hanging fruit and really tie that up before you ever try and go into some far-reaching method of branding or social aspects or anything along those lines. If you don't have your bottom funnel tight where you're able to find you on Google under relevant terms that improve that consumer experience, not only are you going to pay more for those clicks, but they're going to find you in the inappropriate manners. So stay with me throughout this lesson and make sure you reference the tools that are provided within the video that's next. And not only that, the keyword tool list, like I said, I don't exaggerate one bit. This thing is literally going to save you hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars if you can interpret it across your entire campaigns. Regardless of what industry you're in, I guarantee you if you reference it, there'll be something that's going to be relevant for you to be prospecting to.